Hello and welcome to Fiber Trek. My name is Sarah. Welcome. You are most welcome to the first portion of my travel vlog to Orkney, Scotland. I am looking forward to sharing with you a number of different adventures, but on this edition, we'll be meeting with Nancy of Orkney Tweed. If you are a patron of this podcast, a deep heartfelt thank you. The financial contribution is encouraging and humbling. I appreciate all who come to spend some time and invest in this project. I'm so glad you're here. Let's catch up.
It's been a long, hard season. I'm feeling weary to my bones. I guess that's my reason. I've packed my bags and now I'm gone. Somewhere between the sun and the deep blue sea. That's where you find.
My final flight destination was Kirkwall, Orkney. This is located on the mainland and is one of the major ports. I would be taking a ferry to Eday a little bit later, but I was lucky enough to have two very dear friends meet me in town, and we got to do a bit of shopping and cake eating and a little bit of beer drinking and fish and chipping. I got to stop at Allegory, which is one of my favorite jewelers, and I also got to scout out some North Ronaldsy yarn. No surprises there. This was all in preparation for meeting with Nancy of Orkney Tweed, and I am excited to bring to you my interview with her. I can't believe I'm in Orkney, Nancy, because when I got off the airplane, it was sunny, my hair was in place, and I was sweaty. We've had some...
That's not really Orkney.
That's not Orkney.
I think you've got off at the wrong stop.
I did. Yeah, but the Bahamas.
Yeah, I know, it's incredible.
So, but I did want to make sure I got here, and... Oh, Louise is telling me to move that way. Louise is here. Come say hello, Louise.
Hello, Louise.
No, you've got to walk to the camera. Look.
Hello.
So I
edit that out.
No, I'm not editing that out. So I found out about Orkney Tweed. Gosh.
It's a few years now, is it?
Yeah, 5.
Is it?
Has to be, because I think I came up with Isla. So it's been a while. Louise wants me to move this way again.
Yeah.
Better, Louise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it really that long? Do you know time just...
I know, because I got all caught up in the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
And then I haven't. So I haven't been to Orkney since 2019, and I think that wasn't my first Orkney Tweed thing. But anyway,
yeah.
we're here at Orkney Tweed with Nancy
Fergus.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to introduce you all to her really amazing and creative work, because it's not only what you see behind you, which is the actual product, but we want to talk about the tweed.
Yeah.
And so let's start at the beginning.
At the very, very beginning, I kind of needed to have a sheep breed that I could work with.
Right.
My daughter was interested in helping me with the sheep, so somebody suggested...
Is that Louise's phone? We made a very important stop, didn't
Absolutely.
we? Yeah. To get our cup of tea.
The most important stop of the day.
That's right. It will happen multiple times too, as well. We had kind of just started, and you and I talked a little bit while we were making tea about where to start. Mm-hmm. And I think we should go right back to the beginning, because you had started to talk about your sheep and that type of thing. So I would think, feel free, My viewers are probably knitting or doing something
Good.
fun, so they're happy to listen. So yeah, tell us a little bit about where it got started, and we can start with the sheep and that thing, and I'll get to drink my tea, but I'm not sure you'll be able to.
Once I get going, I can't stop.
Yeah.
You see, because I am actually very passionate about what I'm doing.
Yeah, it comes through.
So in the beginning, I had 3.
Louise says good.
Yeah. I bought 3 yow lambs, Swartbliss, pure Swartbliss, pedigree Swartbliss.
Is that a Danish or
They're Dutch.
Dutch?
So they're a Dutch breed. The name means black blaze, for the blaze. It's the white blaze. They're a super breed to work with. They're naturally friendly. When I spoke to Rod about buying them, he says, when we first got them, he says, we thought they were pet sheep, but we realised they're actually all like that. They naturally come to you, and they don't necessarily need a bucket to be trained. They just, so I thought this sounds like a easy breed to start with. So
this wasn't the first sheep you had. This was when you were like thinking about creating cloth.
I never even thought about creating anything.
You just wanted some sheep?
With. I just needed some sheep.
Okay.
My daughter was interested in helping me.
Okay.
So I thought a nice easy breed to start with. I had some commercial sheep just probably for weed control to start with. So anyway, I got the 3 pedigrees, and Jean says, what are you going to do with this black wool? Because when you clip them, underneath was such a vibrant, deep black. The tips had been sun-kissed, obviously, so they were a bit browner.
Right.
So we got in touch with a mill in North Ronaldsay. They've got a mini mill in North Ronaldsay.
Yeah. Hold on, we are in a shop.
Yeah.
Come right in. So, not only do you raise sheep, and you're also running a shop, so we're going to be thoughtful of that.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the black of the
wool.
Yeah.
So the first clip is always the softest, and probably the longest, and probably the blackest. So I sent the 3 fleeces up to North Ronaldsay to get spun in their mini mill, and it came back Aran weight. Oh, it was that beautiful dark chocolate colour.
Yeah.
And so the first thing Jean says, so what we're going to do with this wool? So Jean said, and I said to Jean, maybe
this is your daughter?
No. Jean is a friend.
Okay.
From North Ronaldsay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe we'll knit socks, Jean.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a sock knitting machine that my mother used. And I says, I'll maybe have to get one. So I got a sock knitting machine.
Yeah, Nancy is a cranker. We'll show you some crank.
Oh my days. So anyway, we got the wool spun down into 4-ply, thinking that it would be good for knitting socks. Well, I've soon realised that actually I'm not going to make a fortune knitting socks.
Oh, we're being direct.
So
we're being directed. Is that
again.
better, Louise? Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay.
So that was how it kind of started. So then I thought, well, maybe we could develop this wool a little bit more. So I got in touch with the bigger mill in Shetland at Jameson's.
Yeah.
Would they be able to maybe process me wool for me? And he says, well, Nancy, we're not going to be able to do just like a few fleeces.
Right.
So the minimum amount we could actually process for you as a batch would be 200 kilos. I thought, okay.
How many more sheep do I need now?
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I obviously with three sheep I couldn't do that the first year. Right. So in a couple of years' time, maybe we could gather enough together. So I got some more sheep.
Isn't that always the story? I just need one more fleece. A few more fleeces.
So anyway, the black sheep black sheep arrived, and eventually I had enough. And I also had some commercial texels as well at that time. And I bought some texel yow lambs.
A yow lamb, for those of you listening, is we would say a ewe, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be so
ewe lambs like are for breeding. Obviously, they're selected for breeding from a flock, and I gathered enough wool anyway together from the texels and from the swartbliss, and we sent up 350 kilos maybe to Shetland, and 18 months later we got back a roll of blankets and 4 20-metre rolls of tweed in different patterns, traditional patterns. So that's the story, really. That's how it started.
I started with 3 sheep. And how many do you have now, Nancy?
Well, I've got a breeding flock of around 70.
Yeah.
But I actually realised that the swartbliss wool is actually quite dense. After the first clip, it gets coarser, and it's quite a bounce with it, but it lends itself better to the drape of the tweed, really, more so than the yarn.
Yeah.
But this has developed into. I discovered Romney sheep then. I know,
I'm a Romney gal.
The Romney fleeces are so much softer, and the wool is so much more. What's the word I'm looking for, Sarah?
I usually think silkier, or it's open.
Yeah, open and longer.
Yeah,
and the crimp, the microns is much less.
Right.
We're not down to merino.
No,
but it's a much softer wool to work with for knitting yarn.
Yeah.
So I acquired some Romney sheep and a Romney tup, and I've bred the Romney with the swartbliss to try and keep the colour, and because the black of the swartbliss is very dominant, so I've got some black swartbliss Romneys.
Oh, I bet that's
it's nice.
Yeah,
they're nice, and they're a nice longer. They still have a bit of a denseness though, so I've no perfected it.
No,
as far as the wool is concerned. So it's all experimenting.
Right, but it doesn't seem to affect the actual product, because it's really beautiful.
I mean that is the mill in Shetland has blended the swartbliss with the Romney now to get the texture right.
Yeah, it's come out.
It has come out. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it.
So let's talk about the tweed. As much as we love talking about fleece, it looks like you have a couple different patterns.
Loads.
Okay.
So I can't take any credit for the designs because they're traditional patterns. Really, right. The Tweeds, Brian, the weaver in Shetland. He has loads and loads of patterns, he says, and he is really, really good at putting the colours together.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it does highlight beautifully the different grades of grey and charcoal. And
Gary said to me he would get me 50 shades of grey, no problem. So
it's nice to have someone out there who can do that for you. You right? Yeah, if you would like.
Yeah. If you like that sort of thing. Yes. So the greys and then the natural browns and the dark browns of the swartbliss. That really.
Oh my God! No.
Yeah, don't worry. That is the colour alches. And actually, you don't need to introduce colour when you've got the naturals. Yeah, it's so many.
You send tones. Up just a dark group and a light group.
And then I was because my working background is in the agriculture industry, I know all the farmers and I know the breeds that they're working with. So, and I know the shearers. So I would be asking them, you know, I could do with some coloured Shetland wool maybe, just to add a bit of softness into the... So I acquired some Shetland coloured wool like Moritz.
Yeah.
To add in as well, so that gives you the lighter, browner tones.
It's a sickness, isn't it?
It's a complete obsession.
Yeah. It's just all of the natural colours, and then you're wanting this. And,
Yes.
and it is a little bit like alchemy, right? Because you're like, I want the softness of this, I want the colour of that, I want the... And so you just start kind of pulling it all together.
And it's... You know, when you get your wools back, then it's almost, you know, there's so many different tones.
Right.
And when you're knitting with it, you can, it all blends.
Yeah.
So bony together.
Yeah, it's like, it's like working with like watercolors, because everything starts to. And I know, I know a lot of our viewers work with the Jamesons, Spindrift and the Jamesons, because of that. Same, this like very muted, kind of moody tones that you get. But again, I still think, and everybody's going to know this about me, and I know that this is why you and I are kindred. I just can't, this is my favorite thing in the whole world, is when I think about wool, this is what I think about, these finished products of just natural, you know.
Yeah. Everybody that comes into the shop actually says what a nice feeling it is in here. And I really do think that it's all just the natural things, and just it being, you know, I've got wooden stuff along with the woolens, and it creates an ambience and a warmth.
Cozy, So you take the tweed. I know you have yarn, which some people can make their own items, but you take the tweed and you turn it into products. Yeah. And so you've got lines of bags and lampshades and
the lampshades I make myself, and I've got other bits of furniture that I have local chaps making up for me, and then I get the tops done with a local upholsterer does the tops for me, and we bring together lots of different products.
Now
I make things up as I go along, really.
I know. And there's really the gamut, because you have small bits like journal covers and tea cozies, and then you can get bags, but you also have apparel, and you've got the furniture. So I mean, you really can access at a price point wherever you like. So you can have a little piece just to be, remember, or
We have men's waistcoats that we have made to measure.
Yeah.
And ladies' skirts that we've made to measure.
They're beautiful, the skirts.
They are, and they're very classic.
Yeah.
And they're very comfortable to wear. I had one made, I made one for myself, thinking that I would be able to do that for folk, but
not custom. No, thank
no.
you. So in here you make the lampshades.
I do the lampshades, the cushions cushion covers. Yeah, I do scarves, but that's just like bits of the tweed, just hand fringed, which is not always so easy. And what else do I do? Little bits.
Yeah. Because I guess what I want to drive home is that, you're lambing out your 70 sheep, you're managing your farm, and you're doing that. Then you're making sure that all of it gets distributed to the mill and woven into a product that's what you want. And then you also turn around and you turn it into product. Yeah. So it's really the whole line.
The whole thing
is you, and your farm animals, and so there's really no break.
No, you don't have a break.
It's not like you ship it off and it comes back and then you put it out to different makers. No, you have a few people that make things.
I do. Yeah, I have friends and that makes bits for me. Because I can't physically do everything.
Right. Now let's talk.
I don't have the skill for all.
I know. We've kind of talked about that before, where we were, and we can talk about, if you want, the felt pelts.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's always a new idea, right? And I know you and I were kind of sharing this like fervor of momentum we get around our making. But you do the bears. We had a little costume change because I thought, why am I not wearing something beautiful?
Absolutely.
But part of it is I'm hot, right? So, but this is an example of one of the makes that you have done for you out of the tweed.
Yeah.
But we were going to talk about the bears. But I wanted to be here so people could really get the full
absolutely.
Orkney Tweed feel while you were talking about bears.
Yeah. My working background, is the cattle passports. Is working in the department, and I was there when they first introduced cattle passports. Traceability and everything. We've got every calf has got to be passported. It has to with his name.
Right.
Not name.
No.
What am I talking about? Date of birth.
Ear tag number, date of birth.
Ear tag number. They've got to be double tags.
Mums.
Yeah, you've got to record the mother's name, and they've got to be registered with a central database, so that there's full traceability. All the movements and everything's recorded. So, first of all, when they introduced this passporting system, I was there. I think that was was it mid-90s that happened?
It
Possibly.
It was late. 'Cause I had already started coming to Orkney.
Okay.
I feel like when those were introduced after the BSc.
Yeah, after BSc.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
and it was the year I was here. So it might have been 99.
98, 99.
Yeah,
it would have
right
been
there.
round about there. Yeah, so I was working in the Department of Agriculture then. So when I started this, Tracy, that makes the bears, she contacted me, and I contacted her round about the same time. I thought, I really would quite like a bear made in this tweed, because I was making products, doing lampshades and things, and there was always this bits of tweed left over. So I thought bears would be a good idea. Tracy contacted me to see if I would sell the fabric. For she had a memory bear sort of wee business that she'd just started, and I said, no, well, I would quite like, I don't really want to be selling the fabric,
Right.
but how about you making the bears for me? I tried it myself.
Well, we had that discussion earlier about making stuffed animals.
I might dig out my little bear later and show you my experiment.
Frankenbears.
It just didn't really work very well, and I thought, well, Nancy, you're not going to do this. So Tracy makes a super job of the bears, and I thought, well, son, why don't I actually just number the bears, give them ear tags,
right?
Same as the cattle's, and we'll make passports, same as the cattle passports. So, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
That sort of tied in me, and the story just kind of came together in that. Well, I have a pedigree flock of Swartbliss,
right?
So every year, as in every other breed society, you have to name your offsprings, and they all have to. The breed society tells you that this year your lambs must begin with the letter A, B, C, D.
Right.
So, why would you not name the bears the same?
Right.
Beginning with the same letter as the Swartbliss
breed of the
lambs,
mother of the year. Yeah.
So I kept a register. As I say, you keep all your cattle records, and your sheep records has got to be all kept up to date. So why would you not keep the bear records?
Right.
So I've got a register.
It's all very full circle here. Yeah.
Of where all the bears go, if they stay here or if they. Lots of them have gone to America. Lots of them have gone cruise shipping and stuff.
Right.
So I've got a register of these bears and their numbers. So I get Gemma, she has a wee business on the side that she does dog tags and things. So she makes all the tags for me. They're stamped with Orkney Tweed bears, and they've got the numbers.
Oh, right.
So yeah, that's
very
what
cool. Yeah. Well, the last thing I wanted to talk about, because this is all very refined and makes me feel very sophisticated, but I do want you. We talked about felt pelts, and we're in my chat with you earlier, we were looking at all the different ways we can use the wool.
Yeah.
And so the felt pelt is one way you've been thinking about expanding people's access and opportunity to it. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll see where we go.
In a world where we're all very worried about this sustainability and stuff, and I often get asked if I have any sheepskins in the shop. And a couple of years ago, or was it last year, I had this lovely Norwegian lady in here that asked if I had tried this felting the fleeces from the sheep, and I said no, I had never tried that. And she was trying to explain to me the process of felting the back of the actual fleeces, and there was a wee bit of a language barrier, because although she spoke good English, there was also a big crowd of them, and it was a bus trip that they were on, visiting here, and she really liked the fibre and the wool things. So anyway, I thought I'm going to investigate this more, and when we have time, we'll maybe try some, because it's another way of using up the wool actually from the sheep. So I thought I would try and get this. Did? Yeah, and we did. And it's hard work. It's really hard going, because you actually have to wash and card wool for the backing, and then you hand felt it to the back of the actual fleece. So it's quite tricky to do. Right. And then you must roll it and roll it and roll it.
And you and your daughter were doing that.
Yeah. So during lambing, I thought I was 3 weeks. I shut the shop for 3 weeks. My lambing, I closed up the lambing so that I just left the tops in for 3 weeks. So I knew then after 3 weeks that was the lambing finished. And my daughter comes over and stays with me during the lambing, and we work it together. We take turns at getting up in the middle of the night, and so that the sheep are never more than 4 hours without being checked. So yeah, and it's between times then we thought we would try this felting in the kitchen. Quite messy, so I wouldn't recommend that necessarily unless you're not. I mean, I don't have any carpets in the kitchen or anything, and so it was fine. But normally I would say yes, definitely do this outside. So we've come up with. So I had some. I went into the wool bag and brought out what I thought was a nice fleece. This is a Shetland Cheviot. I bought some yow lambs. Here I go again with this yow lambs, but I bought some yow lambs and I took them to gimmer stage. And
what's a gimmer?
A gimmer is last year's yow lamb becomes a gimmer the following year after you clip it. After it's sheared, it becomes a gimmer. So it's like a 2-year-old then. So this would be a second clip. And it's nice and fluffy
and open.
Yeah. And it's turned a nice colour. I mean, we don't know. Once it's all washed, you get all the lanolin and everything out of it.
Yeah.
It's just a natural thing, and it's not skin. I still have this sheep. She's running with her lambs now. So she's whoever she is, she's quite happily rearing a family, and she's ready to have her coat taken off now in this heat. Yeah. So I've got the shearer booked for a couple of weeks' time, so we'll get them. Then we'll see some more fleeces.
We're very casual here on the Fibre Trek podcast, because mostly we want you to be able to see the wool. Yeah. And we are gonna wrap it up. But Nancy and I have decided that we probably could have spent a full 2-day shoot
Easy.
on the farm with the sheep, doing the yarn. So obviously, as I always say in my interviews, we'll have to be back. So next year we'll do a farm visit.
Yeah.
We'll plan that. But you did say on the website, you have a website.
Yeah.
People can access this. They can access the wool.
Yeah.
They can access the tweed.
Tweed.
So if you're interested in kind of being in Orkney without being in Orkney, this is a great way to do it.
Yeah.
So Nancy, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you
Your
so
cup
much.
of tea.
Yeah.
And you are a natural on the camera, so we won't have to worry about that at all.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So we'll let you get on
it
with your
doesn't
day.
come naturally to me. I'll tell you.
Well, the wool certainly does, and that
Yeah.
shines through. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful. So we'll let you get on. We've had lots of customers coming in,
Yeah.
so we'll let you get on. And but yeah, I'm going to go make my purchases now.
Oh,
Yeah, so we'll do that.
exciting.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that little glimpse into Nancy's wool work and adventures. Thank you so much, Nancy. I look forward to seeing you on the next edition of the vlog, where we will travel to Eday and catch up on some of the knitting loose ends I left you with on the last episode. In the meantime, many blessings and fond wishes. I am so deeply grateful for the investment of time here. Take care. Bye.